Sports to the bone, people. Greetings, greetings, greetings once again, my viewers and subscribers. Welcome to another live show. And we have a couple of things to talk about in this one. So just go ahead and hit that like button as you are on. And just can go ahead in the comment section and start typing, I don't know, your playing 11 for the next game, your thoughts coming out of the first game that we played, so I can go straight into it. Yeah, man. So we're going, as you can imagine, we're going to be talking some World Cup. Also going to be taking a look at the Ashes. Earlier today, Australia, they were able to get the better of England in the first Ashes. Nathan Lyon and Captain Pat Cummins sticking out to the end to take the team across the line. So we'll take a look at that. Also going to be talking some football. You know, we know from time to time we have the football people here. We see a lot of players that are considered to be past their best. You know, we see the Saudi League bind them up as they continue to build their profile of becoming a football powerhouse. So we're going to look at that. And yeah, those are the main things that we're going to talk about. So you can just start giving me, I think this is our first live since the first game. Did a video talking about the game, yes, but this is our first live. So probably I did not get a chance to reply to your comment that you made in under the video where we were looking at the game. So, you know, if you have your comments about that game, you can go ahead and type it, and I will definitely read it out and give my opinion. And if you have your playing 11, if you have any changes to the playing 11, then you can type it and I will read it for you also. All right, Shane in the place. Blessings, Shane. Ashan, blessings. Jay, big up Jay. Zimbabwe looking ominous. Yeah, man, Zimbabwe doing their thing. Zimbabwe doing them thing, man. Stokes give away the game, says Ashan. we're going to address that pretty soon. Bless up. Shellan said, going with the same 11 from game one. We have we have some donation here coming in from Keshan Algu. Big up yourself, Keshan. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, man, always good when you see the super chats coming in, you know, showing some appreciation. So Keshan says, tricky indeed. The way I see it, we need to either beat Zimbabwe in the group playoff, Zimbabwe in group play, or if we lose to them, beat Sri Lanka in the Super Six. Yeah, so those two teams are the teams that we really need to fear. Not saying the other teams aren't good, because I see Netherlands and Oman doing them thing, you know. So not saying we need to take them for granted, but as you are saying, we're probably going to need to get past these teams at some point. So yeah, man. Keshan, once again, shout out for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Ingram says, I'm starting to worry a little. The only team looking good. Not sure what you're saying there. Good afternoon. Yeah, man. Blessings. Welcome. Will play one of the worst shots I've seen. Yeah, it wasn't a wise idea to play that shot, especially at that time. You know, Puran was there trying to get the momentum back in our side. Well, he got the momentum back in our side, and you know, it would have been okay for him to come and probably see through one or two balls. Can understand he's trying to continue the pressure, but you know, you still have to be careful. All right. Good work, boss. All right, Coley. Good night, Sports to the Bone. Jason says, my playing 11 is King, Mayers, Charles, Hope, Puran, Powell, Holder, Shepherd, Hussein, Joseph, Correa, once he fit, and Chase. All right, so who you have, who is missing from the last game? Or you have Correa once he is fit. Okay, okay, okay. All right, all right. All right, not bad. Evening sports to the bone. Blessing. Glad for the live shows. So often now. Still recovering from the ashes. What a game. And they say test cricket is dead. 1000% better than any T20. 1000, 2000% better. 2000% better than it. Yeah, man. As I said, we definitely can get a chance to go live right now because it's summertime, so I'm not going to work. So once I am free, once I am home and free, we can do some live. Yeah, I will always enjoy a good test game. Keep up the good work sports to the bone. All right, Dennis, thanks for the support. They shouldn't declare in the first innings. So that is something that someone mentioned earlier. On the first day, I thought it was way too early, even before they took the Australia started scoring. From it was the Australia ended the day on 14 without loss, I think, after the declaration. I was thinking that 393 was a little bit too was a little too low. I was thinking probably bring it up to 450 or something there about. And at least go hard until you get ball out, if anything, because they had lost 8 wickets. But as Ben Stokes said, it was all about trying to get to bowl to the openers in that last little 15 to 20 minutes period, which I can understand. But I would probably only do something like that if I think I have enough runs on the board. And obviously, he thought that. These World Cup qualifiers are shaping up to be a good fight. People that saying it's just associate teams hope they are paying attention to Zimbabwe. Hope they are paying attention. Zimbabwe is going to be a tough opponent for West Indies. Raza was crazy today. Exactly. Raza didn't he make a century and take a couple of wickets? I'm trying to remember if he ended up making the century, but at one point in time, I think I saw him hitting 3 consecutive sixes. So he's making runs and he's taking wickets. So I wasn't paying close attention, but at one point I was scrolling through and I'm almost certain I saw that Zimbabwe made 300 plus in about 40 overs, and the USA out us for 297 in out us in two for 297 in 50 overs. Yep. All right, Charles, blessings. I know Chase did good, but I would bring in Powell before him to bat. All right. I guess it depends on the game situation. Good evening. Are there any changes for the next match? Um, Based on how I have my playing 11 right now, I don't really have anything to I don't really have anything changing right now. The last game Chase made 50 with 3 drop catches. That was useless 50 for me. It's still from still not in from agree, still not in form. Agree or disagree. So yeah, he got a couple of chances, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't say it was a useless 50 because it held the middle order together there, and it helped us to get across the line. Jake on Music said the declaration was good. The wicket keeper dropped the match. All right, so as Jake on is saying, it was a good declaration in the sense that they had enough runs to bowl at, but Johnny Bairstow, who was behind the wicket, he dropped a catch and he missed a stumping. And the debate goes on whether Ben Fowkes would have taken it. It's highly likely that Ben Fowkes would have taken it because he's the best glove man they have, in my opinion, where Tess is concerned. But you know how the baseball thing go, having Johnny Bairstow batting at 7 or 8 is good because that's a man that can come and score a century. So I guess they are willing to sacrifice that. But as you said, Jake, dropping or missing a one stump can definitely cost you the game. But I personally think it was a little bit too early to declare still. But I hear you. Blessings, Kevin D. West Indies might be in trouble in these qualifiers. Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka are looking as the 2 best teams. I can't see how this West Indies team will beat either of them. So as I said, Travis, they played. The teams are looking good so far. Sri Lanka doing their thing, scoring over 300, bowling out the team that they played yesterday for 180 something. We see the spinners working and thing, but once it's time for West Indies to play them, fingers crossed that we'll be able to get the job done. How can Zimbabwe chase down two 300-run scores and making it look like a baby score? They are scoring. They are scaring me. Hopefully they don't stamp us. Supernova, as Cricklover said earlier, Zimbabwe they are playing well, especially Rasa. You understand it's a whole team performance, but that guy there is playing well. Cricklover says he made the fastest century by a Zimbabwean player, plus took 4 wickets. He was not out 100 and something from 50 something deliveries. I think it was from 50, could have been from, I don't remember if it was 55 deliveries. I know I saw something like that. So he's definitely doing his thing. Alicia Ford says, hey, blessings, Alicia, blessings. I think we had to bat. I think we had to bat on the worst pitch at beginning. I want to see us chase runs. Well, let us see. That Ashes match was amazing. Action from start to finish. We need more teams to have this kind of passion the English and the Aussies have versus each other. Exactly. And, the history is good. The history is good. And each time they have a player coming through, it's like they understand the culture, and the whole rivalry and thing keeps going on and on. So as I said, we definitely want to see more like that. Ruston Chase and Kimo Paul on this team with 0 merit, he says. All right. I'm keeping in mind that we only take over points for teams that we beat that qualify for the Super 6. We need to win every game. Doesn't look like our victory over the USA will matter already lost 2. All right, so as I said, we definitely need to try and win all the games. You understand? I was thinking that we have room to slip up once, but we definitely need to try and see what we can do. Sikandar Raza is from Pakistan. All right. Irvine and Williams are also in supreme form. You see, the thing is, I haven't watched the games and I'm just following the scores, so I am a little bit behind in terms of what to expect. But it seems as if the Zimbabweans, they are doing their thing. And Netherlands, they also have a couple of players that they are pretty good. The Netherlands have a couple of players that are pretty good. So we have to be on our A game. We definitely have to be on our A game. The players that we have in our squad, we can compete with these teams. Not gonna say we can just walk in and beat them because anything can happen. You understand? And as I say, we see Zimbabwe doing their thing, but we have the squad that can beat them on a day. So let's just hope that whenever we play, especially Zimbabwe, we get it right. Zimbabwe looking seriously dangerous. All right, what is the latest with Paul? With which Paul is that? Who is that? That makes no sense. We basically won't get points for the USA game. Everybody in supreme form till they meet decent bowling. But Kenton, these are teams that, even I think it was Oman that beat Ireland, and Ireland beat us a couple of years ago, probably early last year, I think, or it was a year before. So I hear you still, I hear you. But let us see how decent our bowling is, I hear you. Paul need to do 100 sit-up, 500 suicides, and 100 long jump for the way shot. Yeah, the shot wasn't called for at the time. Zimbabwe team showed our batsmen how to play against lesser team. You don't show them you're on their level. Too much respect. Smash them, or batsmen are showing. I don't even know if it's a case of us showing too much respect or that is just where we are at. You understand? Remember, there's a reason why we are playing against these guys. It's not because we are as consistent as bigger teams. It's because of the type of cricket that we are playing. while we are playing against them. Having said that, we have people in the team that they have the ability to smash them, as you say, but because of how we play our cricket, we see these shots like Powell and them and thing. We are more often we do these things. It was close, but I think Australia needed to win today to show up the ball. That early first innings declaration was very arrogant. I won't even call it arrogant. I personally did not like it. I wouldn't have done it, but I am happy they did it. It made the test match way more interesting. You understand? And the fact that they got Steve Smith and Marnus Lamachine and Travis Head so early, that basically, would have let them feel like, it was the right decision. As Jake and Music said, a couple of chances went down, which will always happen in games. But I am not I don't have a problem with baseball, when it just started and they were hyping it up and people making it sound as if nobody can, they can just walk through every team. I was like, somebody need to stop them. But in terms of watching the cricket and seeing Ben Stokes and Brendan McCullum working and trying to get results, I don't necessarily have a problem with it, I'm not too worried about the games at all. We will play each game as it comes to us. All right, cricket has evolved past bat and ball. 80% of winning a match is tactics, planning, and execution. All right, Dennis. All right. I am saying it now. We are going to beat Zimbabwe. We will win the toss and chase whatever they make. Well, I would hope that we beat them also. The Guyanese cricketer, the fast bowler, Paul Wint. I don't know who you're talking about. The only Guyanese player that we have in the team right now where seam bowling is concerned, apart from Shepherd, is Kemo Paul. So I don't know if you're Kemo Paul you're talking about. Kevin D reminding you all to like up the live. We're 17 minutes in, and this is the first time or the second time since we have started. I'm pausing to say, just give the live a like up the live. The others that aren't aware that we're on, once you like it up, then the algorithm will push the live out and people will see that we're live, At this point, I'll take big 50s from 4 to 5 players and some quick runs from the finishers. USA had Centurion against us, and then today versus Nepal, and they still haven't won. All right, no, quick love. I don't matter how the runs come or who score the runs. Once to win, Puran look incredible. Best form in a while. Hopefully he catches in 100. With Puran definitely looking good. As I said about Puran the other day, in terms of Puran not getting centuries, I can understand some of the games. You understand? Most times we see Puran go out there where our back is against the wall. Puran goes out there and hit us out of the problem. You understand? Like he did in the last game. I didn't have a problem with him not going on in the last game because what he did, we definitely needed it at that point. Having said that, we have seen games though where 100 is on the card and he goes and plays some rash shot and get out when he wasn't called for. But as I say, situation and circumstances, will decide how we criticize a shot on the day. How he played in the last game, I have no problem with that. As I said, it would be good to see him bat longer and get more centuries. But some of the times I can understand. CPL auction is the 30th of June. All right. Netherlands ain't no walkover, but I enjoy the way Zimbabwe go about chasing 300 plus, 9 over to Spears. Yeah, Greg, we were saying it earlier. Netherlands, they have a couple of players. Why is Archer not playing? So Archer is out injured, Archer made his return a couple months ago, and he's out again. I think it's lower back. I think it's a stress fracture in the lower back, if I'm not mistaken. Archer is out. Plus, I'm not too sure if we're going to even see Archer playing in the Test cricket right now. If he comes back, I doubt we're going to be seeing him in Test cricket. I do not like the role the IPL has made Puran into. He is much more than a quick fire batsman. He should be closing games for us. But the thing though, West Indian, IPL did not make Puran into that, Puran has been playing that way for West Indies, and they brought him in to be a finisher for them. The same thing has been said about Shimron Hetmeyer. But guess what? When these guys play for West Indies, and we're always saying that, it would be nice to see a Hetmyer batting at a 3 and a Pooran at a 4. That's when that I'm talking about when both guys were actually playing for us. We're always saying that these guys need to be batting most of our overs 3 and 4. We hear all sort of things that, let them go and power hit and this and that. And so I wouldn't say the IPL turn him into power hitter. That is what that is where the cricket is going. That is where the money is at. So once players have the ability to do that, they are going to showcase that playing for West Indies and in the CPL in order to get an IPL contract. You understand? That is me. In terms of the technique, I have never doubted that, Pooran and Hetmyer, these two, and Rutherford, I haven't seen him a lot, but I have never doubted that, these guys actually have good enough technique to play ODI cricket and bat at 3, 4, and 5. You understand? I have never doubted that, but they don't really want to do that, it seems. Yes, I believe that they're showing them respect because they think USA is part of us. That's why they chased 2020 World Cup 2024 to play in the Caribbean. So they choose. Okay. All right, Jason, I hear you. England has Bazball, West Indies has Taj Narayan ball. Okay. Thoughts on Joseph bowling in the middle overs. As I said, Jay, I don't like it. I don't like it one bit, I don't like it. Whether they want to say he's there to enforce and or you want to, I just do not like it. I don't like it any at all. But that is where a lot of us opinion differ. Somebody like a Sheldon that is always on here. Sheldon will say that Alzar is the man with the pace and things, so he's there to be the enforcer. Plus, he will also tell you that we don't have a lot of guys in the middle overs that are actually capable to hold it together. But I don't like it. I like my genuine quick to bowl a new ball. You understand? Before the shine is off the ball. I don't like it none at all. If you want people to contain, if you want to talk about contain, I would say okay. I have no problem opening with Alzari Joseph and Kyle Mears if you want, instead of Hole or whoever, and then they work it. I don't like it. It's the same thing they used to do in Test cricket, and I don't like it any at all. A coin flip could decide our fate against Zimbabwe or pray for rain in a shortened game. We are better suited to play shortened matches, not the longer form. Well, right now, I want them to play the entire game, because if we have to pray for rain, Keshan, hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. If we have to pray for rain to get past them in a shorter form, then we probably have to pray for rain when we go up against the top 8 teams that we're going to play against. So, I think they need to play, and if there is weakness, then they can see the weakness. If there's something that needs to be fixed and they don't go through, they fix it so we can come good next time. You understand? I don't necessarily want us to just go through sake. I want us to be able to go through and compete. To be honest, England has made Test cricket exciting again. Loving the new playing style they have introduced. Same here, Amir. I don't necessarily. I wanted Australia to win in all honesty, but I am happy for how they are playing. We have to work with the squad that we have, but the West Indies still doesn't look balanced. We have too many bits and pieces all rounders and not enough specialist bowlers. We are always the bowler batsman shot. And I agree. But the problem is that most of our all-rounders, they tend to outperform the specialist batsmen and the specialist bowlers in the Super 50. And here comes, who is this? Kwesi with another super sticker. Thank you for the super sticker. Very much appreciated. Very much appreciated. That is going straight into the kitty. All right, thanks for the support. I didn't like Ollie Robinson's attitude. These England players are very arrogant. So this is me, crick lover. I don't like when it goes over the line, but I have always like, I don't want to use the awful word and say sledging, but I've always liked to see competitive cricket like that, fiery cricket. As you said, probably not. I'm not sure what he said to Usman Khawaja. You understand? Well, in the first innings, he said something that probably was overboard, and then he said that if you can't take that, you shouldn't be playing professional cricket or something of the sort. I have always liked the whole fiery cricket, but you don't want to overstep that imaginary line that make the thing become unsportsmanlike. Not Kimo Paul, he used to open the bowling for Guyana in the Caribbean T20 in the early days with Stephen Jacobs, Paul Witts. Oh, I have no idea what has happened to him. I'm not sure. Robinson was having some kind of argument with Kawaja. Yeah, man, we saw it, but I'm saying that I don't want it to go over line where they start pushing people or start saying insults. But I always like a little fire in there. Best archer retire now. He always getting injured. Let us see. First of all, how do we put Karaya into the team if he is fit? We need someone to hold down the middle overs with Hussein and create more pressure so we can take wickets. Alzari looked so off color last game. They need to bowl Alzari up front. That's what they need to do. In terms of Karaya, if he's fit, he plays. Rastan Chase, he will have to stay. You understand? He played a good knock, bowled some good deliveries. So it is shaping up like they're probably going to have to play one less all-rounder, or they're probably going to have to drop. I don't want to say drop Hussein because he's our frontline spinner. Didn't take any wickets, but his 10 overs, you can say, was okay for 38 runs. But we're probably going to have to look to play one less seamer. Good evening. Blessings. All right, Jake and Music says, if Alec and Sinclair was in the team, I would be more confident saying that they will win all group matches. But, all right. Boy, it is what it is in a Jake and Alec and Sinclair, as most people would agree, should be in the squad. But, that is a card that the selectors play. Janu helping, hoping and praying that the boys hold down their heads and play their best cricket. If they do, then we will pull through. Exactly, Jacob. As I said, we have players in the squad that are capable of beating these teams. The problem is we don't play consistent cricket often enough. So that is why we are playing with these teams. But as I said, if they hold their head down and play the best cricket, we should be able to beat them. But let us see what happens. Alzari Joseph need to open the bowling. All right. Shea Hope making sure all his Bajans boy get a chance in the bowling because unreal Alzari Joseph and Akil Hussein, real man to be opening the bowling. Agree or disagree? In terms of you saying that Shea Hope is trying to get all the Bajans to bowl, I would necessarily agree with that. But the second part, Alzari should be opening the bowling, in my opinion. Maybe not Akil Hussein. Oftentimes we open with Akil in T20. But for the ODI, I would be okay with Alzari opening with one of the guys that can nip the ball around. Probably a Jason Hola or a Mayers or a Kimo Paul if he's there. That is how I would like it. I would like to know reason Joseph not being our opening bowler. That I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you. I would open with Joseph and Hola. Joseph is our strike bowler. How can we not open with him? That is a question that I can understand. It's the same thing they used to do in Test cricket and say that he's bowling too short and thing, and I can't tell you. I don't know why. I just can't tell you why. This is what we know. We come to know to short. Oh, I think I addressed that. Yeah. All right, Joseph and Mayer should open the bowling if the swing is there. It's my thought. I didn't mind Joseph bowling 2 overs up front with the new ball, but I agree with the plan to have him bowl a few overs from overs 20 to 35. Otherwise, we don't look penetrative. As I said, Travis, if we save 2 or 3 overs down there, I can understand. But he has to bowl the new ball for me, man. He has to bowl the new ball, The issue is that we are a strike bowler short, and that makes it difficult to decide how and when to use Joseph. Yeah, that is true. You usually want 2 good seamers, but even with the team that we have right now, I would still make sure that I have Joseph bowling, probably bowling 4 up front, and then further down I probably bring him back for 2 and then allow him further down in the game to close out. I'm predicting the guys will start giving us big over 300 runs. Well, I hope so. I definitely hope so. The Rasta and Chase is Desmond Haynes, Golden Child, and Godson. Well, I don't know about that. Seal should be our other strike bowler when he returns from injury. Hopefully, he will be back in time for India. Hopefully, he will be up and running. King Mayers and Ravman got to pay up next game. Yep, they're definitely gonna have to score some runs. If Correa is fit, Ravman Powell might be the man to get a drop. I wouldn't necessarily drop the vice captain the second game in, but as I said, even before the tournament start, Ravman Powell needs to score runs. He's playing as a specialist batsman, and he needs to score runs. I probably wouldn't let him go as yet, seeing that he's one of the leaders, the vice captain in the team. But as I said, if we are going forward, if he's not scoring, then we probably need to question it. Back in Johnson Charles to play a beautiful innings again and get his century. That would be nice. If Johnson Charles makes a century, that would be good because we know it's going to come off. His 100 is probably going to come off 100 and probably 15, 120 deliveries, 125 deliveries, which would mean that, the guys would have more deliveries there to bat, and we would have already had a century, 100 runs on there from Johnson Charles. That would definitely be good to see if Johnson Charles is able to give us that. If Correa fit, again, Kimo Paul next game, agree or disagree. As I said, probably one of the seamers, the seam all rounders will probably have to go. Not sure who do. Paul is vice captain and he is too good to drop up. I wouldn't say it's too good to drop in, but I wouldn't let him go after the first game. Sports to the bone. Is it just me that wonders why ICC can't afford to have more than 10 teams in a World Cup? What's stopping them from having a 16-team World Cup? 2 groups of 8 teams, small teams want in the action. So I think it's getting to that stage. Maybe eventually that will happen. I think it's a case of not wanting the quality to water down. No disrespect to the other teams, but I think it's probably a case of not wanting the quality to water down. But with teams, if teams like Zimbabwe, Netherlands, Ireland, I have to call West Indies because we're in a top 8. West Indies, if all of these teams starts performing and well, it's going to be hard for them to perform because ICC is hardly giving them enough game. So they would have to fix that. They would have to start getting full member nations, playing more games against the associate nations, and then eventually they probably would be able to do that. But I guess it's a case of them not wanting to water down the thing. Old Kima, all right. Good evening, guys. I believe West Indies will play better in upcoming matches, says Sammy. Definitely hope so. I looked up Brendan McCullum, the England coach, and he is a New Zealand cricketer. So why is West Indies bent on having a coach from the West Indies? It's whoever is getting the job done. So, as I said, Brendan McCullum, New Zealand, and well, you say you look him up, so probably you're young to the cricket, but the type of cricket that they are playing, Brendan McCullum definitely fit that. And I guess that the appointment of Brendan McCullum would have coincided with the fact that they probably planned to give Ben Stokes the captaincy. And I guess when he did his interview, the project that he brought forward, they said, well, this project sounds good and it sounds as if it would work alongside Ben Stokes based on his style of play. You understand? And I don't know if it's a case of West Indies only trying to give local people the job. We have tried overseas coaches before. Even just the other day, Monty Disa, that was well, he wasn't the head coach, but he was the batting coach. You understand? And if you ask me, I would say that throughout the little period there, our local coach, who was the bowling coach, Roddy Eswick, he got the bowlers to perform probably better than the batsmen in Test cricket. You understand? I think our rise in Test was as a result of the resurgence of Akima Roach, the Alzari, the Jaden Seals, and the Jason Holler when we had that trio a couple of years, those 4 guys a couple of years ago doing their thing. So This team is more than capable of generating 350 and above. Three of the top six made 0, 0, and 2, and we still almost got 300. So the ability is there, The ability is there, as I said. Sports to the board. Remember, it's West Indies we're dealing with, and anything possible. That's why I'm always cautious and say, we're expecting them to do certain things based on the squad, but as I say, anything is possible. And as I always say, it's a reason why we are playing against these teams. Did you know Rahman Powell could bowl off spin and right arm medium? Yeah, I guess I had an idea. Yeah, I guess I had an idea. Azar is seen a player enough to demand the new ball from Hope. I mean, you can ask for it, but I don't know if you can go out of line and demand it like that. You understand? Plus, as I said, we're you're a senior enough, but you can ask, right? But I don't know if you can demand it like that, Plus, when they tell you the plan that they are working with, I understand what you're saying, doing Gregory. He's senior enough and he's our best ODI bowler. So, he should be able to do that. But I guess when they tell you the team plan, you have to work with the team plan. I don't like the idea of him not bowling new ball. If Correa is fit, Chase is the man to get dropped. As much as I didn't want Chase in the playing 11, I'm not too sure I am willing to let him sit after that knock and that he gave us. I'm not saying that he's back in form or he's undroppable now because of that, I'm just saying, having played a winning knock like that, I want Correa in the team, but I don't know if I would drop Rastan Chase right now, in all honesty. And that is a reason when people say that I don't like players, I find it really strange. You understand? Because I'm working off how the players are performing, and having given us something like that, I don't know if I would really want to take him out of the middle right there. And remember, he's coming off a 30. I think he made a 30 something in one of the warm-up games that carried us. I think he carried us across the line with a 30 at the other day. So I don't know if coming off the back of those performances, I would want to drop him like that right now. Even my boss, just a check-in question. Do you see West Indies making semis if they qualified? If they qualify? No. The emotional side of me would want them to do it, but I don't think we play good enough cricket to play against this team and go all the way down. Is it possible? Definitely. Because we have guys on there that, they have proven before that they are good. Would have seen them playing against South Africa and they weren't the worst. You understand? So the quality is there. But we have to remember that as much as we love our team and we want them to perform, the reality is there in front of us that other teams is a reason why the other teams are actually above us. So let us see. I think with all the cricket, I think with all the cricket those associate nations are playing, they are getting good and will challenge any of those top ranked teams, says Sammy. I think he's referring now to the question that Crick Lover asked, why not play 16 team World Cup. I guess that is one of the things that ICC is trying to do. As I said, get them playing some cricket, get them playing, that eventually they can do that. Whether or not they are ready, I don't know, but I guess eventually that can happen. I just realized Afghanistan is better than us. Powell has a real problem with batting temperament, but has the ability. He needs to learn it's okay to start by trying to get 1 run per ball in an ODI and sixes later on. Yeah. The West Indies that went to South Africa and drew the ODI series and won the T20 series needs to show up, says Crick Lover. Pooran and Powell are our accelerators. They will be boom or bust, and we have to live with it, that as the other batsmen are generally slow. So this is it, Sheldon. That's why we say situation calls for it. I know this is your line of argument from the other day that these are the two guys that are in there for that. But common sense would tell you that situation calls for certain thing. You understand? And it doesn't matter the role that you get to play. The team drop in a particular situation, at least in my opinion, you have to switch up. And that is why You see a bowler, a man is in the team as a bowler. Take, for example, Nathan Lyon, right? He makes the team as a bowler. I know this is different, but Nathan Lyon makes the team as a bowler, specialist bowler. The situation today called for him to settle down and bat like a number 3 batsman. And that's what he had to do. You understand? I mean, him batting down the order, he could easily say that, listen, I am not in the team to accumulate. I am not in the team to draw the test match. I am not in the team. So I'm going to go and play how I always play, which is once the ball is short, a hook. That is Nathan Lyon. Once the ball is short, a hook. Anything outside, you have some for drive. So that line of argument, I understand what you're saying, Sheldon, but as a man in the team, situation depends on it. Situation, in my opinion. Not saying that you're wrong, but this is why I see it. Situation will dictate what happened, right? We see it all the time. You know, as I said, I just used the example with Nathan Lyon. That is a man that is in the team that they like to see when he's batting in the back end, play some flashy shots, you understand, and try and get you as many runs as possible. When he came into bat today, I think they wanted 52 or 54. Situation asks for him to settle down and bat like a number 3 batsman. So sometimes Ravman Powell and these guys, even though it is ODI cricket, and I just used it a test cricket reference, it's the same thing in ODI cricket. Situation will call for you to settle down and bat. Pooran just got out a whole lot of overs to remain. Situation call on you to bat like a number 3 batsman. In my opinion, I have been wrong on a lot of things, so I could be wrong again, but that is why I see it. The Zimbabwe is our most crucial game in the group, as they will qualify for the Super 6. Therefore, it's really important for us to win that game. If Correa is fit, I would drop Powell for him. All right, all right. I'm late. Casanova, blessings. Sports to the bone. Which player you are looking forward to see for the CPL 2023? There are a couple of players that I'm looking forward to, in all honesty, and for different reasons. So I am looking to see if Alec Arthanis will get a contract. So that is something that I'm looking forward to see. And I'm also looking forward to see Heckmeyer and Evan Lewis making a return. You know, looking to see those guys make a return. So to see that, you know, where West Indies cricket is concerned, both from a CPL and a regional level into West Indies, you know, they're actually back on the scene. And I'm also looking forward to see somebody like Matthew Nandu. That's a player that not a lot of people are talking about him. You know, he started off well in the regional tournament for Guyana. I know he likes power hitting. He has the ability. So I'm looking forward to see if he's gonna, you know, how he will go. So there are quite a few players that I'm looking forward to see, but for different reasons. As I said, Evan Lewis and Heckmeyer, I'm looking to see how they are going to perform, and Matthew Nandu. A couple of other players that I want to see, you know. So yeah. And overseas players. Yeah, not too sure about the overseas players as yet, though. Shepherd needs to play over Paul, says Joes. All right. So they say Shepherd over Paul. All right. Too many boundary balls and too many dot balls, says Charles. All right. If West Indies qualify, Rahman Powell should captain the team. So you're saying that the captain gonna get the team qualified and then hand the team over to the vice captain. I hear you. Hit that like button, peeps. Lion Pride says sports to the bone #1. Well, some say yes, some say no. James Franklin is the bowling coach, and he is from New Zealand, so it's not like West Indies only go for local coaches. Yep. Jamaica needs some cricket games again. Long time cricket hasn't been played in Jamaica. Agree or disagree? I agree, and several occasions I have spoken about a few reasons why I think we're not getting games out there. If Ireland doesn't make it out of their group, given they were beaten by Oman, is that the end of the old guys of their generation, like the Sterling and the Balbren? Probably. But I don't know what the youth cricket is like. So, you know, maybe. But as I said, I don't know what the youth cricket is like there. So sometimes you see some of these guys playing up to 39, 40, 41. You understand, so I don't, I don't know. If we don't win Zimbabwe game, we will be in serious problem as we will have to beat Sri Lanka in the next round to qualify, which will be a tough task. All right. The next ODI World Cup going to be 14 teams. Sports to the bone. Home. Okay. Ashan. How much matches West Indies have to win to play the finals in this qualifier? So we have what? How many teams we have in our in our group? Think we have what? 5 teams, four other teams including us. So the aim is to try and win out the group and go through. So you have to win in the Super Six and try and accumulate points. And then in the Super Six, if I am wrong, somebody will correct me. In the Super Six, you have the two teams. I think in the Super Six, the two teams with the most points, those two teams will play against each other, and then those two teams will qualify. So I would say that you want to win all the games in this group right here. You probably can slip up one game in the group, but once you reach around to the group of 6, where the teams are split into, where we're gonna have 2 groups of 6, I would say you want to win all the games there, and then if you lose the final, no problem. That's what I would say. Very seals presently. I have no information where Jaden Seals is concerned. The only thing I know is that he's working on his fitness. I don't know where he's at. In terms of how far he's along in the journey or whatever. Still need our best players all the time. Yeah, we need our best players all the time, but the best players need to want to play for us all the time also. Good evening, people. Chase proved his pick. Yes, Ian, as we were saying earlier. So, well, some people saying that he needs to go. Paul does foolishness like that often in ODIs. I wasn't even surprised. If West Indies don't win all games, they got to channel Afghanistan from 2018. They didn't get through with any points in the Super Six, but still won the World Cup qualifiers. All right. Let us see how does the Super Six work. Kriklow, I explain about the Super Six for us. If Puran did not accelerate the run rate, we would have lost the game easily. Well, probably not going to say we would have easily lost the game, but as I spent about a minute explaining earlier, I have no problem with what Puran did in that game. As I said, sometime Puran get out, but the situation called for it at that time. I would love to see Kurt McKenzie get a call up in the test squad. He's probably not too far from it. This was his first regional season where he really went out, and this was his first regional series and season, and he didn't do too badly. He got a chance in West Indies A, and he did his thing. So he's probably not too far. Still, maybe 1 or 2 guys ahead of him, but he's probably not too far from getting an opportunity. I agree. Sir Ian, he played the situation. Yeah, I mean, once you're watching the cricket, man, you would see that Puran played the situation. From the assessment of the games played so far in the qualifiers, we are about 4th in how we look so far. Zimbabwe looks the most impressive of the teams so far, followed by Sri Lanka, Nepal, and then West Indies. I can't really knock that at all. The pitch Zimbabwe played on is not the same as the one West Indies played on. That pitch was better for batting, and ball was coming onto the bat while our pitch guys were struggling to get away. All right, I hear you. You have to sometimes lose playing how you want to win. It is how you develop a style. England did. All right, Sheldon, I hear you. I just spent 2 minutes explaining why I think that even though you are in the team to play a particular role at a given time to win the game, you have to play another role. I just explained, but I hear you. We can't beat Sri Lanka. I wouldn't say that we can't beat them. We have done it before. What I will say is it's going to be tough though. Ravman Paul averages 22 as a top 6 batsman. And Matt Pryor, that is why I'm always pressuring him, saying, listen, you're in the team as a specialist batsman. You need to score. But having said that, I don't know if a lot of our players in the top 6 averaging over 30. I doubt it. I doubt it. I guess the highest is probably 29. So he's changing himself over from all round that was specialist batsman batting in the top 6. But quite a few of our guys are actually averaging in the 20s, which is not good any at all. Not not saying that he should be averaging that. Just Sposy Bone, what's one main improvement you would like to see with our Windies women's team? For me, we have a serious issue of building partnership and rotating strike. So I'm gonna be honest with you, Supernova. I haven't watched a lot of the games. They have lost a whole lot of games in a short period of time. I haven't watched a lot of it, but as it relates to looking at the scorecards, as you would say, building partnership and probably rotating strike and the ability to bat long, the ability to have one or two players batting right through. Everyone, which is not the captain, Haley Matthews, obviously. You understand? As I said a couple months ago, I had no problem with them losing a couple of games because when Courtney Walsh took over and Haley Matthews took over, we were without at least 4 or 5 starting players. But that excuse we cannot use again. I saw Anisa Mohammed doing an interview the other day, and I think she's back. So remember, for a long period of time, we were without Deandra Dattin, Stephanie Taylor, who was out injured, Anisa Mohammed, Connell, and I think one of the sisters, I don't remember her last name, if it is Williams. We were without about 5 of our starting players for a good period of time. So as I said, being able to settle down and bat is probably that. But in terms of giving you an in-depth analysis of the team, I wouldn't be able to honestly do that because I don't watch a lot of the games. Nepal not beating us. All right. Sports to the Bone. If Brooks is not fit for the remaining games, who would you replace him with? I would want them to give Hetty a chance. What do you think? Not at all. So they are not going to. I don't. They are going to change the squad right now. You understand? Unless something drastic happens. That is why they have a 15-man squad instead of just having 11 players. So while they're in the tournament, if it is not 1 or 2, somebody get injured seriously, then I doubt they're going to call in for reinforcement like that. But in terms of if Brooks cannot play, and they definitely have to bring somebody into the squad, it has to be Alec Arthanes, not Hetmeyer, in my opinion. I will get stick for it because some people will say that he should already be in the team and he should be in the playing 11, but I'm not going to beat around the bush because that is the popular answer to say Hetmeyer. No, Alec Arthanes has done the work recently to get the opportunity, in my opinion at least. West Indies, Zimbabwe, Ireland, Sri Lanka are full members of ICC. 2 of them won't qualify. All right. Right now, I'm waiting to see what is the start time for the West Indies versus India T20 games here in Guyana so I can see if I can make them. Those games will be big here. And that is exactly why they placed it in at the games are being played there. When I did the schedule the other day, I don't remember if they had announced the time for the game, so I won't say. I don't remember. Sports about England beat Australia today. It was a great game. I think you mean the other way around. Australia beat England. Did the JT captain? I think he's saying was the JT captain announced? No, not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. I would probably. I think the ideal thing to do is to go with Brandon King because he has been at the franchise for a while. Well, he was playing for Guyana and then he came back, but I'm not too sure about his captaincy experience or his experience as a captain. So I would go with him though. I would go with him for this campaign and see how he works. Fabian Allen, who is a player that plays a lot of franchise cricket, is also there as a senior player to help out. And then you have a few foreign players that can help. But I would go with him. We got to realize Uruguay won several football world are now fighting to qualify for World Cup. Cricket is getting bigger and more in more countries and investing in cricket with better coaches. Yep. All right. Good evening, Sports in the Bone and all. I would like to see Charles and King open the batting. The chemistry was good in the warm-up matches. Opening batsmen work best in pairs. Well, that's the only way to work. But as I said, the chemistry was good. Um, but I think leading up to this World Cup qualifiers, Kyle Mears has done enough work as our white ball opener for them to work with him for now, you know. Rastaman. But I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. So three teams from E. All right. So this is Crick Lover explaining it for us again. Um, three teams from each group go through to the Super Six, right? If you go through, you only take across the points from the teams that you beat. That qualify also. All right. So the other teams that you beat that don't qualify, you don't get that points. So in a sense, if you since that USA seems that they're not going to go through, then that point those the points that we got from them would not count, right? So you have to beat the other teams, the other two teams that qualify. Okay, that's better. So the other teams that qualify, you need to beat them to accumulate. All right, I understand. I understand. West Indies players must play every ball to its merit. Lose ball. Yeah, eight ball and its merit, yes. Do you think the surface in Zimbabwe is fair? I realize that the teams batting always struggle in the first 20. Any team batting first who wins is a good team. So I wouldn't say it's fair. I don't know if I would use fear. Um, in terms of preparing the pitch for it to be more balanced, you probably could say it that way. But you know, that is how it always goes. It always goes like that in most cricket. In most cricket game, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. That is why, you know, you always hear people going and inspecting the pitch and want to win the toss, because it might be a little bit tougher to win the game if you are batting first, you know, as you said. Yeah. What's the bone? West Indies need to win some big games to qualify. All right. That Nepal team looks good. They look very promising. We have to come with our A game, lest we become the second upset of the tournament. Nepal is our opponent on Thursday. All right. I believe that Alec will do well when he gets his chance. Yeah, hopefully. Our women need to build some muscles and fitness. We have no poor game, so setting our chase in big scores is a problem, says Sheldon. And especially with danger that is no longer in the team and Stephanie Taylor not as, you know, consistent as she was. Those were the two power hitters in the team. So, you know, Sheldon saying that we probably need to have the other girls, you know, hitting harder. Then you play the three teams from the other group regarding the Super Six, and I think the top two on points go to the final. Yeah, man. And then the top two, that go to the final, the two of them will qualify. That's I like to have you guys that have good understanding, you know, because the things that my old brain cannot figure it out, you guys will be on point. Hetty cannot come ahead of Arthanes and Charles performing also. Possible. I know you would want Arthanes for Brooks. However, Hetty is our second best batter in terms of average and centuries. Therefore, for the World Cup qualifier, I would choose him over Arthanes. All right, I hear you. I hear you, boss. Sports to the bone. My bad, Australia. Okay, yeah. I hear you. Is Pat Cummins new no classified as a bowler, bowling as a bowling all rounder or pure all rounder. Now he's shown time and time again swing. So even in the commentary today, Ricky Ponting was alluding to it. Earlier in his career, you know, he showed that he was pretty good. Then he had a little slow, not scoring some runs, and then recently now he's showing that, you know, he's good. I don't know if I would want to call him a bowling all rounder as yet. Probably a pace bowler that can bat. I don't know if I am ready to call him a bowling all. Maybe we can say a bowling all rounder. Probably just not a genuine all rounder. Maybe, but I am still leaning towards the bowling side. You remember? Not sure what you are saying there. I know the Nepal team bowling might not be the best attack, but they will know all our batsmen weakness because Montedesa is the head coach of Nepal. All right. Sports to the bone. What do you think about our bowling lineup? I think it's very weak, especially with Kimo Paul. Um, I don't know if the ball. I don't think the bowling is as penetrative as it should be. Um, you know, I think we are probably one good pace bowler short, and then there's a lot of all rounders in the team. So if I'm gonna call out Kimo Paul, I probably would have to call out Shepherd also, because as you know, Kimo Paul, in my opinion, would do a better job with the ball. It's just that Shepherd gonna give you some runs with the back base and his form now. So I don't necessarily want to call out just one all rounder, because if I would have it my way, then I wouldn't have so many all rounders. But as I oftentimes say, the all rounders tend to outperform the quote unquote specialist players in the regional competition. So you just have to use them. Arthur has shown more recent commitment to West Indies cricket, and for that reason, he is ahead of Hetty in the queue. I didn't even make any more mention to it. But heck, his name shouldn't even be it shouldn't even be uttered for West Indies cricket. He should not even be considered. All the best to him in his career. Hope he catches all his flights. So my thing is this, Salisha. I am not writing him off as yet, but he definitely does not walk back in my team right now. As I say, he needs to. There are certain things that needs to be done. He needs to have a sit down with them, have the discussion. I would do with an apology also as a fan. You understand? Some might say there is nothing to apologize about. And I like to split justice. As I said, CW has done the youngster wrong in the past, in my opinion, when the whole fitness thing was going on. Because I saw them playing three or four people that was clearly fitter than, and they used that as a way to keep him out of the team. So I can understand Hetty having an issue with them also. So I'm not going to just say it one way. There's two ways to it. But in terms of him getting back in the team, not even close, in my opinion at least. Maybe I am biased. Our batsmen should play every ball on its merit. Loose ball is to put away. They just can't try to blast every ball as Paul did in the last game. And you are correct. The aim is to play each ball on its merit. 50 likes, people finally appreciating the lives. Good to see it. And we are 190 people in Supernova and only 50 likes. I mean, it's good to see the likes are coming in, as you said, more than usual, but we still are far away from the amount of viewers. Yeah, Mohammed, good evening, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Sports to the Bone, are you following the Gold Cup? I don't follow much football, but the people here were pretty excited when Guyana beat Grenada 5-3 on penalties. They are supposed to be playing Guadeloupe right now. So I am not following it in the sense that I am not watching the games, and I will look at the scores. That's pretty much how I do it. I look at the scores. Even Jamaica, we played 2 games recently. I think we played Qatar, and we played 2 games. We played, I think, even yesterday, and I haven't seen the games. We lost the games. You understand? So I have more patience watching West Indies than watching Jamaica reggae boys. It sounds funny because I love my football, but I don't know if it's because I watch so much hybrid football. I watch a lot of Premier League, English Premier League football. So I watch a lot of that. So to move from that and to go and watch our local football, it's difficult. It's difficult. Even when I was in Jamaica, I watched more schoolboy football than the reggae boys, in all honesty. You remember during previous show, you had Charles and Chase out of your 11, and also your listeners had right of Chase, and I told you that Chase, I see, sir, Curry is him. So Shane, that is how it goes, when there's 15 people in the squad and you can only play 11, and I just gave my 11. And as I always say, if the 11 that I choose don't play, I have no problem. Once the 11 that the team select, that the team is using plays, once they perform, I am good with that. I didn't have Chase and Charles in my team, and both of them perform and help us to win the game, and I'm 100% happy with that. And going forward, based on the squad, it might be a case where these guys don't make my playing 11 again. Not the following game, because as I said, they perform, so they definitely play. But going forward in the future, based on performances leading up to a series, those guys might not make my playing 11. And it just goes to show that it doesn't mean I have anything against them. It's just my personal 11. And it just shows that I got it wrong, right? I have no issue with saying that I got it wrong. They were selected and both of them performed, which I am happy for. Supposed to do any updates on Moti. We haven't seen anything on Moti. The only it's just the last thing where they said that he's going to remain with the squad and they're going to work on him. But I haven't seen any update. Could some of your men play on the women's team as trans? That's a different. That's a whole another ball game, no, sir, Ian. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they're talking about. It's not like I'm going into that argument, that conversation. This is totally sports related. So I'm just going to say that and leave it. I'm not going into the whole gender thing. But I was listening to a podcast the other day, and somebody was saying that people can identify and go and play against the other gender. And the question was if in the day, if Mike Tyson, well, he's no longer boxing, but if Mike Tyson can identify as a female and go and box against the females, and they were like, you can just imagine. Someone reminded me the other day that even though Hetty hasn't played ODI for West Indies in maybe over a year, close to 2 years, he's still the second most centuries in our current players, only below Hope. So I think Hope has over 10. I think Hope has 12. Somebody can correct me. And I think Hetmeyer has 5. So it just goes to show that Hetmeyer started off his career extremely well where ODI cricket is concerned. And that is why I'm saying that I want the situation to be resolved. But with the IPL situation, I doubt it's going to be resolved because they're going to want him to commit to play in certain series when he might not be able to. You understand? That's why I'm saying they probably need to come to a mutual agreement where you play a certain amount of games and you can sit out a certain amount of games. But what I'm saying is you cannot just avoid the team totally, and when big occasions come up, you expect to be picked. And so as I said, Hetmeyer still has the most. So the talent is there. I am just always for the principle of the thing. And for those some people, I see in the comment section where some people say that, I am saying this because he's not from Jamaica, but I said the same thing for Andre Russell, and he's Jamaican. You understand? I said the same thing for Gayle when I personally think he was not able to make the team. So that's why I always say that when people think I am saying these things because I don't like their personal players, then they probably need to find somebody that like their players, because I'm going to call it why I see it. Sheldon says Hetty has not done anything in ODI since 2019. When last has he been in the top 5 among batsmen in the Super 50s? Because he's not, as I said the other day, he got his opportunity to score some runs in the Super 50 and he didn't. But what I'm saying though, Sheldon, is that the talent is there, and that is why I'm saying I'm not writing him off as yet. I want him to go. That's why I said, you notice when the question was asked just now, who am I looking forward to seeing in the CPL? Hetmeyer. I was looking forward to seeing him in the Super 50 the other day also, but he didn't do anything. So that is why I'm saying that, he couldn't even walk back in the team. You understand? I always use this to go up against that argument. When people say that this guy is the most talented or his average is this, then I will look back and say probably we need to bring back Lara and Samuels and Gayle then. Since as recent performance don't matter, maybe we need to bring back all of those guys because those guys were talented also. You understand? But you need to be playing. And those who have been following the channel from 2020 when we started, I think we started the last part of 2019 into early 2020. Those who have been following the channel will be able to attest that I have nothing against Hetmeyer. I like him as a player, but I am just a principled person. Same thing that I say for Rossi. You don't just walk in when you're ready. You understand? Having said that, there are still certain things that need to be ironed out with CWI. Nepal will win against West Indies, says Rose. All right, I hear you. Remember, Pat Cummins has the fastest 50 in IPL. I think he could be classified as a bowling all-rounder. All right, Michael Douglas, yeah. I remember him scoring some runs and they were talking about it, man, but I don't know if I am ready to say that, but I hear you. Hetty couldn't even make 20 runs in the last year Super 50. Everyone calling for him. He performs in IPL, but not in international cricket. I know all persons are entitled to their opinions, but I don't know why some people keep calling for a player who has proven time and time again that he isn't loyal. some of us are too hypocritical. I don't. I hear you. Nepal has a very strong bowling lineup. Hmm. Sports the bone for the first test match versus India. Would you play Jaden Seals? I would personally save him for the second test because he has had such a long-term injury and might not be match fit. So this is the thing, supernova. In terms of playing him for the decision would be made, in my opinion, based on well, this is my suggestion. I don't know if CW are going to do this. But before we play India, seeing that our test cricketers have been sitting for a while, I would like at least two best versus best games. I know you're gonna have people scoring hundreds and then they go and they don't play anything good. But somebody like a Jaden Seals, who is a integral part of our bowling lineup, I would like to see him playing a couple of best versus best game. Even if they want to say, mixing a couple of the guys from the West Indies Academy, that performed well the other day, people like Kirk McKenzie and the Hodge and all of these guys, mix them in, play a couple of best versus best games before India. I don't know. Maybe we're even gonna give them a chance. Maybe we're even gonna play a warm-up game. I don't remember seeing any warm-up game when I was looking at the schedule. So if there is none, then I would want a couple best versus best game to get people like Brathwaite and all of these guys playing back some cricket and get Jaden Seals bowling. Get Jaden Seals bowling, and then I would make the decision based on that. Romario Shepherd should replace Kemo Paul. Rahman Paul should bowl to utilize his all-round abilities. He could bowl 5 and Romario bowl 5. Share the 10 overs. Romario is more set batter than Kemo, said Z Phase. Not the worst idea in the world. Not bad. Do feel Joseph will bowl the new ball in this tournament. What I feel is our plans will vary from team to team. As I said, planning is going to be essential for each team. We will have to differ plan. And I mean, that is always how sports works still, Dennis. You always have to go up with different plans for different teams. It's just that certain things you usually try first, and then you change plans. But I understand what you're saying. You plan for every team differently. But when you have an ace pacer, in my opinion, you're bowling. But I hear you. Brian Paul, Sports the Bone. All right. People calling for Romario in front of Kemo. I don't think you guys realize that our batting isn't really the problem. It is the bowling. We need Kemo's bowling more than. I have said that before, but yeah. Sports the Bone, do you think they should use Roach, Holder, Joseph, Seals, and Moti in the test bowling lineup? So Roach, Holder, Joseph, and Seals. As I said, I'm not too sure where Seals is at. Holder will definitely play. And Roach did not have the best of series, the last series, but it's home. So Roach, Roach going to play, and his record at home is pretty good. So Kemar Roach plays for me, and Alzari Joseph and Holder. I can't call Seals as yet because I don't know what his fitness is like. As I said, if he's good, then yes. And Moti is at the front of the queue for me right now to bowl. He hasn't done anything to be dropped from the test team as yet, but CWI. Maybe we'll hear that they're going for another spinner who they think going to make some runs and things. So you never know. I trust Kemo to bowl 10 overs. Do you guys trust Shepherd? I said, our batting is fragile. Do you agree? Yep. Do you think Carl Hooper saying it how it is will be constructive for the players over time? Yep. I have always been tell it as it is. Sometimes not everything you're going to come and say in the media, you understand, but in terms of talking to the players in the background, you want to make sure you say it as it is. But I have no problem with what Carl Hooper said the other day. I have no problem at all. What he said is what everybody can see. And that is what I love. I don't like when sensible people like ourselves watching the cricket and then the jacket and suit people come out and telling us something different from what we are seeing, and we are not blind. So I don't really have a problem with Carl Hooper doing that. The financial achievements of Gale, Pollard, Bravo, and Narayan and Russell has created pro. All right. What's your view on Sheffrin Rutherford? I don't have a problem with Sheffrin Rutherford. I like him as a player. I I don't know where the commitment is at right now, though. I know he signed up to play in the Canadian League, T20 League that is coming up. It's all about seeing him in the CPL and then see him in the regional tournament and see where you go from there. In my opinion, I think there was one chance. I think he had performed in one tournament, and I was expecting him to be selected. He wasn't selected at the time, and he has to move past that if he wants to play still and just keep performing. He's a talented cricketer, but he does not get in my playing 11 right now. Is Azhar retired or just had a bad game? I wouldn't say he's tired. I wouldn't say he's tired because I would even couple it up to frustration also because as I said, I want my pacer to bowl the new ball. I don't know. You have probably a one or two bad game, every now and again, but Azhar is by far our best seamer in ODI. He was resting. But Azhar is our best seamer, It's just one of them things there. I want Kimo to be opening the bowling and bowling more in the power play for Guyana Amazon Warriors in the CPL. All right. The financial achievement of Gail Pollard, Narayan, and Russell has created a major problem for the selectors in trying to get our best players to represent the West Indies team. And as I said, you see, players, it depends on their commitment. If players don't want to play, you just cannot let them play. Probably we're going to reach a stage where CWI will have to sit and say, listen, we want you to sign this contract, but we want you to play this percentage of game for us. Players, they are doing this as a job, so they are always going to hunt for the money. You understand? And I explained it earlier. A lot of these guys that are talking now, a lot of people that are talking, we are watching it for fun. These guys are playing for their livelihood. And some of the people that can help West Indies cricket, I explained it at length in the last live. Some of the people that can help West Indies cricket, they are doing the same thing. They are not offering their service to West Indies. They're not signing a contract. They are going all over the world and being commentators and being franchise mentors and franchise coaches because that's a way to make money. And according to them, nobody love cricket. Nobody love West Indies cricket like those guys of the past. And they have the ability to help change it, and they are not doing it. So you have to open your eyes and know that as much as we love the cricket and want the players to play for us mostly, they are not necessarily going to do that. You understand? And some of the past cricketers are being disingenuous when they behave as if it's solely that, because they can help and they are not doing it. They are not signing any contract to do it. Yeah. Good night, Sports to the Bone. I joined late. Someone tell me the score in the test against Australia. So Australia won the game, Australia won the game. I'm gonna have to go back on the thing to try and find that. If somebody can pull it up. But Australia won. Alan says Darren Bravo has a better recent ODI and Super 50 numbers than Hetty, and he still has a better test average than most of the present team. And you are correct. Recently, he has outperformed them in Super 50. And based on how he started off his career, his average hasn't fallen all the way down as yet. So you are correct on that. Watching that exciting Ashes test was like watching a good chess game. Windy's leadership on the field can learn a lot from it. It's just that you come on late, man. But we spoke about the Ashes test game at length. It was a nice game. I can't believe that I was that nervous watching Australia versus England. In all honesty, I wanted Australia to win, so maybe that's why I was so nervous. But I was nervous just like when West Indies, just like if West Indies is playing. Sports to the Bone Sports to the Bone, the Caribbean population, Sports to the Bone, Caribbean population, of them. I think he said many of them always blast our team when they play in the region. There's always a small crowd. Our players needs motivation. We should have more participants. All right. Yeah. Sports to the Bone, what are your thoughts on the Hooper statement? Sportsmax had the whole section with Fazir this dissecting it last night. Funny enough, I was planning to watch that tonight and then give my opinion on it tomorrow. So I haven't heard what Fazir has to say as yet. But as I said earlier, I don't really have a problem with Carl Hooper. Yeah, with what he said. So you don't want to go in it, you don't want to go in it deeper than that because you don't want to press down the moral of the moral of the players. But I, I don't necessarily have a problem with it. Probably I need to take a look at the statement in full. But no, West Indies have to look out for Zimbabwe. Yep. Sheffield Rutherford deserves to be in the West Indies more. I cannot understand how he only plays 60-20 international and he is one of the best West Indies batsmen in CPL. All right, Kevin D. Ian Williams from Brooklyn, New York. I love how Carl was forthright in his assessment of West Indies. As I said, Ian, I have no problem with it. You have to call it or you see it. You can, if you're going to fix it. Is Azhar retired? Well, I think I answered that earlier. That probably was just a bad game. Excited for the CPL draft next week. This CPL will highlight prospective players for the T20 World Cup next year. Hoping Arthanes and Sinclair get picked. Yeah, definitely hoping those two guys. Sinclair gonna get picked. Sinclair will be picked. Arthanes, I think based on what he did in the Super 50, I think he's gonna get picked. And that innings that he played in his debut against UAE, I think that's hopefully that gives him an opportunity to get selected also. There's also this youngster from Guyana, Matthew Nandu. I would like to see him out there also. So let us see. No man. We are playing Thursday. We're gonna play Thursday. Rutherford performed 2021 CPL, but we selected Chase in the World Cup squad over him. Wasn't that the CPL? Or that was 2022. Wasn't that the CPL that Chase outperformed everybody in the tournament? I remember there was one tournament that he performed, and the selectors didn't select him. And then I think he went to the IPL and he lost a parent. And then CWI is as if they were trying to use that to say that's one of the reasons why he wasn't selected when the selection came before his parent passed. I don't know if I'm remembering correctly, but there was one CPL. There was one that he performed well, and I was thinking that he could have gotten a chance in the squad, and they didn't select him. But as I said earlier, in not the last live, the live before, I beat Rastan Chase for being in this squad right now. But I won't knock him. I can't say anything about them giving him the opportunity in the World Cup, in the T20, because we were looking for a quote unquote what you call it, one of them players there. And Rastan Chase outperformed everybody in the CPA, so I didn't have a problem. I hope CWI work along with Jair McAllister. The ability is very promising for the future, he says. All right. We need 3 good fast bowlers to be dominant again in ODI cricket, where batting is not consistent, but bowling with win you the tournament. All right. One of our main problems in the format is Jason Hola. Most time he's neither here nor there. Hooper is right. These guys give their wicket away all the time, hitting the ball in the air. Yep. Did Bonner really sign up to play in Houston for the franchise league in the USA? I didn't see it, and I didn't see it. I can't comment. I don't know. I didn't see anything. Did someone do a Brian Lara film? Saw something named 501 Not Out. I don't know if there's anything official. I don't know. We've been talking about our batting for a while, but our bowling is the biggest problem at the moment. Yeah, man, we spoke about the bowling. Hooper was put on the spot, so it was either he went back on previous word or stick to his guns. And he did the right thing, Sheldon, in my opinion. He did the right thing, He did the right thing, in my opinion. You have to call it as it is. I understand. We seem to stop producing good fast bowlers. That what makes us world beaters in the past. I explained it at length in a live before that Some of these bowlers, they are not willing to put in the work. You understand? They are not looking to play the longest format, which needs the work. The guys that we used to produce, those guys used to run the mileage. They used to put in the mileage, get themselves ready to play test cricket. These guys are just looking to bowl 4 overs. They are mostly playing T20 cricket. So they are not fit enough. You understand? And when you're tired, the brain goes, the body goes, accuracy goes, everything goes. So the reason these guys are not bowling fast enough, naturally you need the height, you need certain things, but you also need to put in the work. You understand? We have seen two bowlers from Jamaica recently that come on the scene bowling 140s. You understand? And in my opinion, CWI didn't do the right thing. Should have had these guys playing some red ball cricket so they can learn how to bowl in the sense that they learn how to put together a spell, bowl 15, 20 overs for the day. Instead, they bowl 4 overs and gone. You can't learn to bowl like that. That's not how you learn to bowl. You understand? You have to bowl 8 overs on the slot. Your captain say, come, you're bowling again. You come and bowl another 6 overs. Rest, come back and bowl 5 overs. That's how you learn to bowl. That's how you learn to bowl. These guys, they have the pace, and because T20 is a risk game, you understand, it's just ball beating bat or bat beating ball. You come with the pace, you might get a batsman out. But when you bring them to ODI and Test cricket now, ODI a little longer. When I bring them to Test cricket, which is much longer, they can't work out batsman. They can't work out the batsman because they don't have the skill. They don't have the skill. They might have the little pace, but they don't have the skill to work out batsman because they don't learn how to bowl. You have the pace, but you have to learn how to bowl. It's the same thing with the guy from India, Malik. You see that guy bowling high 140s. You understand? You think they're not teaching him how to bowl now. That's what they are doing. He might be playing in the IPL, yes, because they want the pace, but they're teaching him how to bowl. You can't do your foolishness in franchise cricket, but if you're playing international cricket, you have to learn how to bowl. Fazir was saying that you don't want to cut down the players too much, but also in the past, coaches that just say the correct thing haven't really delivered. And exactly, that's why I was saying before even listening to Fazir. You don't want to make it seem as if the players there's no hope, but you still have to call out certain things. Chase is a better player than Rutherford, say Shane. All right, I think we are missing someone like Fabian Allen right now. Hoping he makes a comeback this CPL and get back into T20 team. Yeah, definitely. Sports to the Bone, old-time subscriber. You come a long way in making this channel one of the best. Big up. I remember the name, Jason Clark. Yeah, you have been around for a while. Well, thanks for the support. Thanks for the kind words, thanks for the kind words. I try. Are there any in the current test team who should find a place in the ODI side? Not necessarily for the World Cup, but as a way of providing them with more continuous high-level play. So Desmond Haynes was trying that when he just came in. He said that we don't have enough cricketers to just play one format. If they are performing, they will try them in other formats. He tried it with Nkrumah Bonner, Kemar Roach, Blackwood. I don't know if they gave them enough game. It didn't work. We saw Gabriel coming back also. Didn't work. Even though Gabriel did well in the Super 50. It didn't work. But as I say, if we have guys performing, they probably can try. We have Kyle Mears who plays all formats, so he's there. Hopefully Tejaran Shanopal will get to a level where he's doing that. That's why I'm keeping a close eye on him where Super 50 is concerned. It would be nice to have him opening in ODIs and also Test cricket. So hopefully. But it would be good to have them getting continuous high level play. But at the same time, they have to be able to make the team. So they have to be scoring at a rate in Test cricket where you can try them. Say, for example, India wouldn't go take up a Pujara and say that, let's play him in ODI cricket, even though they have a lot of cricketers, just as an example. So probably it's the same way they're not going to use a Brathwaite, even though we probably can use him. You understand? you would see a team like Australia. They might say Travis Head, he scores at a high rate. He's in the ODI. Let's get him in the ODI team. So the guys would have to perform. You understand? People like Shea Hope and things. Shea Hope is one of those guys that has the ability. He's one of those guys that you would think would be playing both the Test and ODIs. But we have seen how it worked for him in Test cricket recently. So I get what you are saying, but they have to be performing in that format to command a position in the next format. If you understand what I mean, because you have quote unquote specialists that only play one format, so you have to be able to outperform them. When is the MLC Major League Cricket T20 starting over there in the USA? I like the move from the USA to host this tournament so that they can develop their talent as they co-host the T20 World Cup next year. Yeah, man. I think I did a video on this the other day. I don't know if it's in June. I'm gonna have to double check, but it's pretty soon though. Yeah, Banner got selected to play with Kingsmen 11. All right, so look out for him to make our T20 team. I wish him the best. I wish him the best. I wish him the best. All right. This is even another statement. This is even another thing that I'm going to use to say. If he performs, hopefully he get a CPL contract for the following year. It is really heartbreaking watching the West Indies having to play qualify for the World Cup. Boy, that is where we're at right now, That is where our cricket is at, Sports to the bone, if we don't qualify for the World Cup, what should be the next move? Keeping in mind most of the current players would probably retire before the next World Cup. We may as well start developing the youngsters now. But we are always doing that. We always, you notice, every World Cup we hear, they say, this team, some of the players on the team, they are up there in age. But they say it's a young team. They're always saying it's a young team, whether it's in age or the fact that they just come together. But a couple of the senior guys are still going to be around. But you want to make sure that you start inviting guys to the camps. So the guys at the Sinclair and the Artanes, I don't know what the selectors are waiting on because Artanes should be in this squad. So if they don't qualify, you want to make sure that you have these guys in and around the squad doing them thing, But I don't know if the selector is going to do that. So I don't know. Age is another one I would like to see in the CPL. Boy, I don't know about the CPL, I want to see him in Super 50. I know every man want to play CPL so they can get piece of the food, but I'm gonna be selfish and say, yo, let him play, let him stay away from the T20 for another 2 years or so. You understand? And that is me personal. That is just me saying that. Personally, I think Blackwood should be playing ODI, batting at 3, not saying for him to go through over Artanes, but he should be in and around the ODI team. And that is something that I have always agreed with. You understand? He got the opportunity the other day. I think he played 2 games, remained not out, and I don't remember if it was 1 or 3 or something. One of the games he didn't score. So he's one of them that he has the attacking instinct to play, but Sikandar Raza is who Rastan Chase want to be. Raza scored 102. Not out. Yeah, we were talking about Raza a little earlier. Craig and Tage playing more ODI cricket could help them in Test cricket. So that's what the easiest way to get in is to probably score at a faster pace, or when they play in the Super 50 to try and get some runs. That's the only way, in my opinion, they're going to do it. I know should be in the team. All right. Sri Lanka Test captain Dimnath, I think it's Karatnaratne, is playing currently in their ODI team. He hadn't played white ball cricketing for years and playing it now again and looks good. We have done it before. Where even Rasta, we remember we did it with Shea Hope, So people see the quality of Shea Hope in ODI cricket, and people need to know that is not a case of the selectors fighting him out of the Test team. Remember, he was out for a while. We brought him back in, didn't work. Then we brought him back in again, didn't work, and he's out now. Maybe he's not too far from getting an opportunity again. He's still consistent in ODI cricket, and he went to England the other day and he didn't do too badly. You understand? So probably you will get an opportunity again. But as I said, there's one player that should be in the test and the ODI squad already, based on his latest performances. Give him the opportunity to fail. You ask the players to go and play in a particular league to get selected for the ODI and the test team. You have players going there and dominating it, and you're not selecting them. Select them and let them fail. That is my opinion. You understand? Select the players that perform and let them fail instead of giving people spot out of the blues and talking about how you think they will do this and you think they will do that. If you're going to work off thinking as selectors, then just squash the whole qualifying process for playing for West Indies. You understand? Squash it. It don't make any sense. And sometimes when they come out and tell us these things, they think it sounds sensible, you know. And they don't understand that people that follow the cricket know that it don't make any sense. All right. Sports of the Bone predictions for Thursday. Batting or bowling first if we win the toss. Crick lover, you always ask this, and I always say that it depends on what the pitch is looking like on the day. But it seems as if the teams that the teams batting first, they are scoring some. Even Zimbabwe, they chase 300 and they set 300 if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if it really even matter. We should be able to get these guys if we play good cricket. You understand? If we play good cricket. So I like to make my decision to bat or bowl first based on the pitch. I don't know if we right now we claim that batting is our strength. So you probably want to go and pile up some runs if they can and then get a bowlers to bowl at it. Or you could go on the flip sides also. Boy, I want to know when West Indies selectors are going to pick the best set of performing players from the region. Jake and Music, as I said just now, the selectors need to stop behaving as if we don't have any sense. They have people performing in the region that they say they want. Having said that, the region is not the best, but that is what they need to select. They say they select from, and they have people tapping it and can't make the team. They need to stop the foolishness. Our new white ball captain is going to make us qualify for the World Cup. Full stop, and that would be nice. Are we so bad that other matches in this World Cup competition are being covered? Other matches in this World Cup. Are we so bad that other matches in this World Cup competition are being covered? I'm not sure if I understand what you're saying. Are you saying that they are covering other games but not the West Indies game? Because I was able to watch our game yesterday. You know, I agree. Big up Carl Hooper to tell it as is. Big up Darren Sammy for his communication with the players. That was lacking. Better future. Yep. Are we so bad that other matches in this World Cup competition are being covered above us? So aren't we getting covered? I think the game is being covered, man. Maybe what you're looking for, looking on, it's not on there, but I think it's been covered on ESPN Caribbean. Secret Clover says our games are covered on ESPN Caribbean. Yeah, man, the games are being covered, man. The games are being covered. But as I said earlier, Carl Hooper needs to call it as it is, you know. And probably that is how I see things. I call it as it is, and sometimes it doesn't sit well with people, but that is how I see it. And you know, for this channel, that is why the comment section is always open, because I'm going to call it as how I see it, and then I am open for debate with you guys. You know, but I like to say it as it is and don't just beat around the bush. Mr. Darren Sam is planning a total new and improved West Indies team. I mean, the strategy and the planning is good, hopefully coming from Sammy, as you said, but we definitely need the guys to go out there on the field and get the job done. And we are winding down for tonight's live, you know, guys. We are winding down. I wanted to open the link for this one, but you know, we actually have some other matters that I need to attend to. We're almost 1 hour and 40 minutes in almost. We're winding down. So we have the game Thursday. Let me tell you when we will probably go live again. So tomorrow is out of it. We have the game Thursday. I'm not gonna be able to do that Thursday. Friday, I'm gonna be free Friday. So hopefully we'll have a live on Friday. So we play Thursday. Hopefully on Friday we will have a live so we can come on and have a talk. You know, hopefully Thursday we can have a live and come on and talk. Simmons tried that and became unpopular. He was unpopular. He was unpopular for what he was saying, but the team was also very disgraceful. You know, I will call it as I was saying. You know, you will know, Sheldon, when you call a spade, people will say this and say that. But I don't even know if he really call it only as we saw it in terms of some of the players that were selected. You understand? And you know that the coach always have a hand in selection. But if you call it as how you see it and people don't like it, there is no problem. Once the team is performing, the team needs to perform. And the team was also awful underneath him. Not saying the team is going to be any better under Sammy, but, you know, he became unpopular because of that. It's the same thing like when we come and give our opinion here. I am unpopular with a lot of people because I call it as how I see it and I don't agree with a lot of things that people agree with. You understand? It's just one of them things. It's just one of them things, but the result is what needs to be shown. So you can be unpopular because you say the players are not doing what needs to be done, but when they go there and start performing, the same people that were upset going to come around. How much world-class players we have in the current team? That's a good question, you know. For the ODI team, right now I would probably say 2. Might sound away, but I would probably say only 2 or 3. I would say 3. I would say 3, probably 3. And this is what I'm going to use to finish. And I know I'm going to get some stick for it, but I'm going to finish off the live with this. Good question, Jacob. I would say 3. I would say we have 3 world class. Shea Hope, who consistently stays in the top 10. I think he's outside of it now, averaging 15 ODI. That's not easy. Alzarri Joseph has been one of the best ODI bowler for a while. And you know, I could almost push it to 4. Nicholas Pooran, he was averaging 40 when he got the ODI captaincy, and it dropped down into the 30s. But I'm still going to put him up there. He's batting at number 5 mostly. He bats at number 5 mostly. So averaging, what is Nicholas Pooran's average? So averaging 30, probably 37, probably. I would probably say him. And this is where I know I'm going to get some stick. This is where I'm going to get some stick. But I'm going to slide. I'm going to slide Akil Hussein in there. He's not performing now. But you guys go and look at Akil's performance over the last 2 years. His last probably 4 games, he hasn't done well. But go and look at Akil's performance over the last 2 years as an off spinner at the international level. And come back and talk to me. You know? Casanova said, okay, he's averaging 36. I would probably put him there because he's batting at number 5. And, you know, I think he's still world-class enough to win us games. So I have him there. I'm going to read his last set of comments. I feel Mayers fails with the bat. They may drop him, move everyone up 1 batting spot, and then bring Correa if fit. I think Mayers has enough credit in the bank to fail more than 2 games, probably. Carl Hooper said nothing bad. He said that it can get worse. He then said if we don't come out the stage into the exactly, and it can get worse because if you don't qualify, it's getting worse. Zimbabwe look better than us in their 2 games. Should we be worried? We spoke about that earlier. We definitely need to clean up our act. Sports Bone, what is your 11 going into the Thursday's game? I'm going with the same 11, probably 1 change. Depending on the news that I hear tonight leading into tomorrow, where Correa is concerned, I might try to shuffle things around, but I'm going to let it stay. It has taken Zimbabwe 4 years to rebuild to where they are at, and we have been rebuilding for years, and it hasn't happened. You understand? We have been rebuilding for years, and it hasn't happened. And because we give a coach 3.5 or 4 years, like Zimbabwe, don't mean that they're going to reach there. You understand? You can see potential in players and coaches, and you can know when to cut it off and decide to go something else. But we have been building for more than 4 years now, Sheldon. We have been building. Poor and average 36. I can't wait to see the Zimbabwe. Can't wait for us to beat down Zimbabwe. It's going to be tough, but let us see. I think 2 is the right answer according to the performance. Hope and Alzarri. I hear you, Jacob. I hear you. But I hear you. Hope and Alzarri, they are definitely there. Pooran has slipped somewhat, but I still have him close by. And as I said, Akil Hussein in the last 4 or so games, He hasn't done well. He didn't do a lot of work for us in South Africa. But over the last 2 years, I would say, he's there. He's there. Why are they not giving Jimbo a chance in the ODI? Jimbo would make the team as a spinner, and Akil Hussein at the moment is a frontline spinner, and Yannick Correa is there, who they tried, and he hasn't failed as yet. And those are the two spinners that I would use. And you see Rastan Chase is there. So once those guys are there, Jimbo is not going to get any chance. You understand? If we beat South Africa, we can beat Zimbabwe, but on the day you go, then you got to play. Exactly. I think King could be there too in the future. He's not there as yet, so hopefully he gets there. We're going to have to leave this one right here for now, my viewers and subscribers. 1 hour and 45 minutes in. Going to leave it right there. It was a pleasure talking to you all. I notice you guys are just warming up. We still have over 190 people on. We have over 190 people on, but we're still going to have to leave it right there. As I said, hopefully Friday we're able to get in. We're able to get in. Last comment here. Jaycon says, you are just as good as your last 3 games. Well, I would give them a little bit more room, So here's my question to you, Jaycon. Marnus Lamashane is the #1 batsman in the world in Test cricket. He failed in this opening Ashes. What if he fails in the next 2 games? Is he all of a sudden not a world-class player anymore? Because they say he's as good as his last, yeah, as good as the last 3 games. So Marnus just failed. Steve Smith just failed also. So what if they fail in the next 2 games? That's a question and a half. Big up yourself, guys. Thank you all for the support, and we will talk again soon. Happy New Father's Day, bro. Blessings, Jaycon. Same to you, my brother. Same to you. Same to you. Happy Father's Day to you, my boss. Big up on yourself, Sports to the Bone family, and we'll talk again. Thank you all for the support, and stay safe, everybody.